Ever been to a party and felt another guest was getting too close to you? I mean, breathing down your neck too close? Being close is comforting. But that's normally not the case with someone you've only just met for 10 minutes. So, why do some people invade our private space? It all comes down to a subject called proxemics. Simply put, proxemics is the study of human use of space in relation to population density. It began in 1963, when Edward Twitchell Hall, a cultural anthropologist, felt there was more to how human beings space themselves. Hall believed that proxemics was influenced by culture and had a bearing on how individuals interpret intimate, personal, social, and public spaces. Now, here's where it gets interesting. If Edward Twitchell Hall was right, then where do people who are prone to smaller personal spaces come from? A study published in the Journal of Cross-Cultural Psychology, Preferred Interpersonal Distances, a global comparison, which encompassed 9,000 participants from 42 countries, gave us some idea. Guess what? Romania and Argentina surfaced on both ends. While Romanians preferred most distance, Argentinians displayed a preference for the least. It was generally understood that those from warmer climates tended to get closer than those from cooler environments, and women maintain more distance than men. The study of proxemics is surely relevant in the 21st century, because it's big in commerce. One example is a study by Laura Lewis and her colleagues from the University of Nottingham, which involved seating in the airline industry. Well, that certainly makes sense, since the last thing you want is a mass frenzy in a pressurized cabin 38,000 feet in the air. Besides the claustrophobic intensity, there's also the intrusion of someone spilling over their seat onto yours. Horrors aside, proxemics has also permeated the automobile industry. Remember how Japanese cars swept markets all over the world with smaller frames and intimate cabins? The trend adopted by Japanese car makers clearly reflected a closer-knit culture, which came at a time when global resources and environment concerns were beginning to gain traction. Proxemics helped build a new dawn in consumer adaptations. And what about the F&B industry? Most fast food chains cleverly lay out their dining floors. If you've been observant enough to notice, a table for 4 is in actual fact 2 units. This is to accommodate more people during peak hours, where 2 separate parties can sit at the same table feeling they were still on separate tables. The thin line of detachment exists as a psychological barrier between separate parties. An implied comfort border, so to speak. With all that teaching us so much, the pandemic struck and altered everything. And despite significant relaxation to rules, did it alter our distance parameters for good? That's anyone's guess. But one thing's for sure, COVID-19 will definitely contribute to a new dimension in proxemics. We'll have to re-educate ourselves on our new comfort zones.